Hello, listeners. Thank you for joining me on 21st Century Native Leaders. I hope you enjoy this podcast episode with my guest today. Follow me on Facebook, 21st Century Native Leaders, or Navajo Podcaster. I'm also on Instagram as Navajo Podcaster and on Twitter, Navajo Podcaster. Thank you. I hope you enjoy. Hello, listeners. Thank you for joining me on 21st Century Native Leaders. My name is Peter Dayish III, and I am here with Kody Dayish. Kody is an entrepreneur, model, actor, and award-winning movie director. So, Kody, tell me a little bit about yourself, tribal affiliation, where you come from, your clans.
Okay, my name is Kody Dayish, Kody with a K. I am originally from Sanasti area, and my clans are Tachinine, Bashchi, Bashachin, Ashin, Dashache, Nakai, Dashinella. And, I'm just, I used to tell people I'm just a res guy from, I'm living in, mostly in Shiprock area, and we do movies to the best that we can, and we have a little film production called Kody Dayish Productions, and it's just me and my siblings that do it, Colette and Colin.
That's awesome. So talk with me about some of your accomplishments. I saw an article about you winning an award for a film festival, at a film festival.
So it's a film festival we attended, which was the Santa Fe Film Festival, the Native Cinema category. It was basically the actual original Santa Fe Film Festival that we had attended, and we had won Best Director for our film. It's like a thriller film called The Boy Who Cried Wolf, and it was one of our recent projects we did last minute, and I was really proud of it because the whole cast and crew was all Navajo, and the whole film was spoken in Navajo as well, too. So I was really excited to, actually get, recognized and having that film, receive such an award, because we've been trying to get into Santa Fe Film Festival for about 3 years now, and it feels really good. It was just an honor to be accepted, you know what I mean, that we were happy enough to even just be a part of it and have our film screened. We had no idea we were going to win the award.
So was it hard? Was it challenging to find a Navajo-speaking cast?
Oh, yeah. I myself have, I'm not extremely fluent in the Navajo language, but, I try my best to learn, especially in these films that we do. And I'm actually in the film, and it was a hard, challenging part, because I had to learn some prayers before I actually, got on set. And to find people who were able to speak Navajo, that was kind of a challenge too, because we like to work with a lot of the youth. We try to, so it was the hard part for finding kids that could actually speak Navajo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Is the movie available for the public to watch?
No, it's still touring festivals. It actually got selected to be screened in London Film Festival, and then now, the recent time it got played was at the Santa Fe Film Festival.
And what's the length of the movie? Is it a short film?
It's about a good 20 minutes. With the credits, it's a little bit more. The runtime's 20 minutes.
Awesome. So, what are some of the challenges that you overcome with producing movies and with some of the notoriety you experience?
There's always a lot of positive comments that come from people, and after such events, it seems like when you go to these film festivals, it's when that it seems like that's the moment to actually really try to work with people, and that's one thing I was able to master over the past couple of years of being as a filmmaker. And it seems like this time we went into Santa Fe Film Festival knowing what we're doing as far as networking our film and trying to find distribution for it. So that's the challenge I always find as far as trying to get your story out there, is just the fact that you're trying to distribute your film, because I thought that we were one of the few people that was actually making a Navajo story like this, like having an all Navajo cast and crew and stuff. But through this film festival, I found out that there's tons of people out there that aren't even Navajo that want to do Navajo films with Navajo cast and crews. You know what I mean? It's really interesting. And the challenges that I had with specifically this film was really trying to, as far as just even before filming, I had the idea to make this movie about the boy who cried wolf, but with our own little twist in it. And when we had to start from scratch from the storyboard, which was my sister Colette and my brother Colin, we had to really take into consideration of how much of the Navajo culture we could use. You know what I mean? Because the sacred prayers that are involved with making the film very authentic and accurate, it's like a catch-22 because I can't show so much of it because I'll get negative feedback of it. And at the same time, if I don't show it correctly or make it right, there's still going to be like a negative feedback on it from our own people to say like, you know, not the way we do it. So that's probably one of the hardest parts we found is just the fact that there's boundaries as far as the accuracy of the culture and trying to also satisfy the audience to represent the Navajo culture through film.
Right, I can definitely see that challenge, that barrier you'd have to look at being, you know, taking into account we're in a bicultural world or multicultural world. So did you have a traditional medicine person help you out and consult you with the film?
Yes, definitely. Most of the time in the end, you know, after there's medicine men and spiritual people that we really consult with before we actually get down to the script and see if this is something that we would want to have in the film. And after that being said, I usually have my parents, who are the executive producers of all our films. They're the ones that have the say-so if it's a go or not. You know what I mean? Because sometimes some things could be too disrespectful if we show too much.
Wow, that's pretty interesting. That's definitely a new dynamic that maybe filmmakers have to take into account. So how would a movie producer go about getting their film out to the public?
I would say just go and, straight up just start filming whatever they need. First and foremost, you know, I would really strongly suggest just not to try to copy or try to be some type of film that's already out there. Like a lot of people, you know, when they pitch their films, they're like, "Oh yeah, this is a film that's going to be like The Revenant," and right off the bat, it doesn't sound right, you know, like, because a lot of people do come up to me and message me and try to say like, "Hey, this is a film you should try," and then they right off the bat just basically say like, "Oh, this is, you know, picture the movie like The Revenant, or picture the movie to start off like this superhero," and I'm like, no, you got to start over, because, you know, people have stories within themselves. And that's what we do, and I think that's how we found success. There's a bunch of successful stories that can be told as long as you're as original as you can be. Like, I don't know how to put it. Like with this movie, all I did was I wanted to make a movie just like, you know, for kids about the boy who cried wolf, just to teach them that they can't be lying and that the power of dishonesty can be very bad. But then here I was like, okay, well, I don't want to just remake this folk tale that everybody knows about, so I just really put a big old twist on it. And the actual main character of the film is not a boy, it's a girl. So that's how, you know, that's one thing I would probably try to say about movie producers about getting their film out there, is when you start from scratch, just totally go with your gut feeling of what you think is original and tell your own story the way you want to, and not try to think like, oh, you know, I hope like Hollywood sees this, or I hope this actor sees this, or this famous person sees this. Just like what we did, we literally wrote the script right after we got done eating at Burger King together in Shiprock. You know, we were coming back home and we got food to go, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is how we're gonna do it. And from there, you know, just me, my brother and sister, just sat, you know, in the living room and just started writing this story, and we kept putting in different twists and changes and characters, and it was really cool to see it come together and it was just such a blessing to actually have the cast that was involved to actually want to be in the film. So as far as getting films out there, that's probably the best way to go, because every time we go to these film festivals and meet these awesome producers and people that are on the outside, they want to know what it is to be who you are. Like, as far as if you're saying that this is going to be a Navajo film, you know, it's not too much of what the teachings are, because, you know, we can all learn about the Navajo culture by just Googling it up, or we can easily just look through a textbook and stuff. They actually want to hear your story, and, you know, the emotions have to be felt through the film, and that's the best way of getting your film out there, is just going by what your gut feeling is. As soon as you get that done, just get a camera and start filming it. Find somebody that they can trust and just make this story happen, and just go out there and you know, find a good film festival to go submit their films to. And we have a bunch. We have a whole listings of you know, of film festivals that we've been to ourselves, and which ones are good and which ones are, you know, there's a lot out there that just want to, you know, try to accept film festivals. Just, I mean, they're trying to accept films just so they can, like, get people to buy tickets to watch their film, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So you have to be really careful about that.
So talk with me about the marketing aspect of the movies once they're produced.
Oh, man. That's where I would say, you know, just because, like, so whenever we do the films, it's really hard because, like, me and my siblings have to put it all on ourselves, and I can't wait till we have, like, maybe enough money to hire a marketing person, because I do most of that myself, and what I would do is just basically just try to, you have to have a theme first off. Like, if you're, like, say if me, like, say if we made a movie, right, me and you did, and we wanted to make this film about, like, a Navajo podcasting company that wants to go out there and tell the world their story, and, you know, maybe there's some kind of theme in it where they want that story to be heard. As long as they have that theme, then you're able to just, like, keep pushing it. Like what I do usually after a film festival or something, or after a movie's produced, I have to stick with that one theme. So, like, with this one, I was really proud of the fact that this was the first film that was actually that we did that was spoken all in Navajo. So that's what I, you know, pushed, and I said, okay, here you got it. You got a short film that's a thriller film that's spoken all in Navajo and has an all Navajo cast. So that was my log line, and a lot of people liked it, and it caught a lot of attention, I guess, just because, you know, that's the first thing I would say to these people that would want to watch the film, or they would invite us to these film festivals.
Wow, that is so cool. So talk with me about how you raise funds for the movie.
Oh, yeah, that's easy. We do breakfast burritos. We sell breakfast burritos, like, you know, whenever we get a chance to. My brother and sister help me make the burritos whenever they're at home with me, and we usually get up, you know, really early, and we just sell breakfast burritos. You know, that's why we're really proud to call our film production a Navajo production, because the people are the ones that are paying for most of our funds. You know, the Navajo people that buy our burritos, they always come up to me and say, like, hey, you know, thanks for, like, making these films. You know, it's teaching my kids, and it's motivating them. And I'm like, no, well, thank you, because you're the ones that are paying for it. You know, it's really cool. And sometimes when we have enough extra cash too, like, we always sell our merchandise too. And it took a while though, because it's so expensive to actually have to, like, run your own merch. We barely even broke even not too long ago. And yeah, so that's how we do a lot of our funding, is mostly through the burrito selling. So that's the big secret.
Oh, that's awesome. So have you ever thought about using Indiegogo or any of those crowdfunding sites?
Yeah, I would love to. We would love to, but I think that's when we're gonna, like, when we're actually, I think that would be the next chapter. Whenever I think, like, we would find ourselves short of the budget. So, like, as an independent filmmaking group, we just stick with a certain budget, and we have to find agreements of how much everybody wants to get paid, and then we just decide to make the burritos. And once we hit that number, then it's go time, you know?
Right. So what was your budget for this movie?
The Boy Who Cried Wolf, I think that one was a couple. I forgot. It was like a couple thousand, I believe. That one. I didn't write that one down. I have it at home. I just didn't bring it with me.
Wow, that's awesome. So, talk with me about the casting for the movie.
Yeah, so the casting part of The Boy Who Cried Wolf was really cool because first off, we just simply put out there, hey, we have a new movie coming out. It's called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Everybody had the idea of how the story went, and I just basically put out there, you have to speak Navajo fluently, or at least like you have to know how to speak it very well. And it was really unfortunate because there was a lot of kids that were like boys that could do it, but we needed a girl. So we're trying our hardest to find a girl, and that's how we ended up having this young girl. Her name's Sienna. She's from Farmington. She's a Navajo, and she was amazing. Right off the bat, I just fell in love with her. She was really cool. She just really had that those emotions in her face, from going from being scared to being sad to being happy. And I was like, this is who we need. Like, this is totally it. She was the first person that we went through several actresses and actors, and that person, I was like, okay, we're going to go with her. So, my brother really liked working with her because my brother is also the main supporting character in the film. And he obviously got the part because my brother can speak Navajo very well, even better than I can. So I was like, I had them work together, and immediately they just bonded, So I was like, this is perfect. We had some other actors that needed to be in the film, and we're trying to figure out who they could be. And another well-known actor that was in the film was Ernest David Sosi III, and I always like find it an honor to either work with him or James. And at the time, I was like, shoot, who should we have? And just Ernest's character, I find like James and Ernie are really, really awesome. Like, once they get, everybody knows them as comedians as they are, but me working with them, they become totally different people when you get on set. I think they're the most professional people I've ever worked with because, everybody sees them as these laughing, goofy guys on stage, but once we get on set, they literally have the script I gave them, because I would email them the script, and they would show up with it printed out, and they'd be walking in circles, just reciting their lines, and they're really cool. So that was a hard one to choose because I wanted both of them in the film, but I only needed one of them, and so Ernest took it more because in the character he plays as the girl's uncle, who is basically taking care of her and trying to show her the right way of sheep herding in the film. And he to me, like the way I see him from a director's perspective, is that, because he was in the movie The Red Hogan, he's more of a warm, fun guy to be around, as opposed to James. To me, he's more of the guy that I would want him to be more of like the stronger, stern guy. So that's why Ernest got that part. And who else was in that film? Ernest was amazing. He was really funny. He was great. And he loved the script. It was really good. And then we also had Eric Treviso. He played as one of the guys that was on the set, and he was really, really, really good. And then we also had Xavier Horseteeth, who was from the movie Hostiles. He was in the film just because obviously he did really good in the film, and I wanted him to actually play as a younger version of the Boy Who Cried Wolf. So that was the main cast that was in there, and they did really well. My parents were in there also. They played a little part, and my dad played in a scene with my sister, and they did awesome because, like, working with them, they're able to help behind the camera, then run in front of the camera, and so that's how we got with the casting, and I really just wanted it to be filled. I wanted the movie to be with people that people can relate to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's how the casting went for that.
So how did you decide to choose Sienna to be the lead female role?
That was really hard. Like I said, there was a bunch of little, awesome, cute kids. They were just really, really nice, and they had awesome smiles, and they were just really funny. But like I said, with her, she stepped it up a notch by I remember they sent in an audition video, and they actually used a wolf head, like some kind of mask, and she was screaming her head off. I remember, and she took off, and she was screaming in Navajo, and just the way she was speaking it sounded legit, if you know what I mean. You can tell when people have a hard time pronouncing the Navajo language, as opposed to people that speak it correctly with their accents, you know? And she was able to, that right off the bat got me, and I was like, okay, this is going to be awesome. So I told her, gave her a call back. She came in, and we worked with her, and I was really hoping she was the type that, because this was her very first film. And I was hoping that, you know, she wasn't going to be too, I guess, like too hyper or anything like that. But she did really well, and I I felt really bad because I told her that, you know, this is going to be a really easy film to make. But it just so happened when we filmed like the main parts of the film, it was really cold. So she was like freezing on set, but she did an amazing job.
How old is she?
At the time, I think she was 11. So now she's like 12. Yeah, because we filmed it almost a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So will the movie be shown around the reservation?
Oh yeah, definitely. We showed it at this film. The first time it premiered was at our own film festival called the Trickster Film Festival, and we are definitely wanting to do another one. So we had a really good time. A lot of people really loved it, and we didn't. A lot of folks didn't get to see it yet. So we're definitely going to try to show it there, either probably in Shiprock, Gallup, or something. But we're definitely in the works of that. That's one of our projects that we're working on.
Wow, that's amazing. So how do you decide where to show the movie? Do you talk with your brother and your sister and team approach it?
Yeah, definitely. My sister's the one that's usually the main one. She's the production manager, so she's the one that tries to really figure out where we can show the films. And on the reservation, it's kind of hard because there's not that many, you know, movie theaters deep in the res. I mean, so like we've always wanted to go to like Tuba City, but we couldn't really figure out a place to show it there. And it's always been our dream to show it in Gallup because we know some folks up there, and they've actually been saying they've been wanting to watch the movie. So, you know, it'd be really cool to show it there, and eventually we'll have it on DVD.
That's awesome. And who handles the business aspect for your production company?
My dad and mom do most of it. I mean, like, I usually have like the final say on certain things, but that's only when the film happens. But as far as everything else is concerned, you know, I usually don't like to really touch the money. My parents are the ones that really work with that because they've actually been, I trust them a lot. I mean, yeah, because they're my parents, but they really know how to do business management because they actually ran the baby pageant they're the ones that founded it and started it in the Northern Navajo Fair, like for the past 20 years. It was only like up to 3 years ago that they stopped doing it. Just seeing the way they were able to do that and handle all the admission fees, and I was like, you guys can do this, so I just kind of threw it on them.
That's awesome. So my next question is actually about your family. How important is your family support? Because I see you posting a lot on Facebook and social media with your siblings and your parents. Talk with me about that relationship that you have with them.
I'm really blessed, and, you know, it's just an honor to have such a supportive family because a lot of people out there, unfortunately, they don't have that. And, you know, they don't have parents that some people don't have parents that support them, and that's really unfortunate. And I pray every day thanking our Creator that I have such awesome parents because I wouldn't be able to do it without them. And on top of it all, my siblings as well, because I put so much on them and I expect so much from them through these films. I mean, at times I feel bad because it seems like most of these movies I want it to be so perfect, and it's all on them. And like I said, a lot of the writing for these stories, I depend on my brother to help me because I'm so much older than him, and I want his perspective, being from him being a millennial, and my sister, I throw like everything on her, like from the scheduling to taking care of the actors, feeding them, driving them back and forth from wherever they are on set to their lodging. And sometimes when we have, you know, these moments where we're hanging out by ourselves, and I always like to ask them, like, Matt, why do you do this? Like, and they just say because they just see something in these films, and the fact that they haven't seen it done before, and they said they just basically told me, like, and most of all, they just basically said it's just because I'm the older brother, and that I would do the same for them. And I think that's something that I really love about them, because I think that's what makes us unique, is because there's a lot of filmmakers out there, but they're having to do it on their own, or they can't work with their siblings. But that's one thing we try our hardest to do, because we want the younger generation to follow our footsteps, and we think that the best way to do it is by showing them who we are, by respecting one another. And that's just something I'm really proud of, and hopefully that that's something that will last for a very long time.
I think that's one thing that's powerful about what you guys are doing. So, are there any challenges you face in the film industry because you're Native?
Oh yeah, all around it is. I mean, it is for anybody that's also white or black or whatever, and being Native, and also it being our stories coming into this film industry where there's a lot of Native producers that are starting to come up. I feel for them, because especially the new ones, I'm like, man, you have a lot to face, and I hope that you can live up to it, because most of it, unfortunately, there's a lot of competition, and it gets to the point where people get really jealous of one another. It's weird. It's mostly the natives fighting against natives all the time. It's worse than actually what you would expect from the whites or something. And I'm like, this is crazy. So the challenge of that would be just the fact being Native, trying to go into this industry where where we're actually trying to take over our own stories is really hard, because it's new, and everybody is like, that was already in the industry is kind of, I guess, possibly it's like they're intimidated or something. And we do get a lot of negative feedbacks, and a lot of you could just feel it when you're out there trying to promote your films, that some people look down on you just because you're Native. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And but to me, I really don't respond to it. I really don't get affected by it. I just keep trying to show what we're trying to do as storytellers through our films. And like I said, I think the most challenges is just the fact of trying to honor our own people. The Diné people always judge how accurate these films are. And when we took on this whole thing about being Navajo filmmakers, we didn't want to. I didn't even expect to win any awards, to be honest. From the very get-go, I just wanted to just make cool movies that kids could show at their schools, and hospitals could show at their hospitals. You know how you're waiting in the waiting room, and they have these cool little clips of little Navajo teachings and stuff. And I honestly just wanted to make those, and I just wanted to make little YouTube videos for people to share. But once we started stepping into the whole industry and finding out that we were one of the first Navajo people to actually do this, then it started becoming what it is now. And the expectations is something that always leads me to being stressed out, because I'm hoping that this is something that people can look back on and say, like, hey, that was a good movie. Yeah, so that's how it is. Just the whole, there's a lot of Native producers out there that are starting to come up, and it's hard. it's tough. So I wish them the best of luck.
Well, that's true. So how do you overcome that jealousy you were just talking about?
A lot of prayers, and a lot of I look at myself like just the best thing to do is just stick with being humble as possible, because no matter how bad people can be jealous or saying negative things to one another, at the end of the day, there's still so much more positive people that are wanting to see more, and they're supporting. And it always makes my day when people buy our merchandise. When we came back from Santa Fe, there's a lot of people that met us in Albuquerque that bought our stuff, and seeing these people buy our shirts with our logo and my name on these shirts, it's crazy. And I just think that's what helps me go through, is knowing that people actually support. So with the people being jealous about what it is. I think they're just afraid of the change. They're afraid of this new move, this whole new chapter of something that they didn't expect. And I'm just rolling with the punches as it goes. As a lot of people do say negative things to me, and I just, I really can't say anything about it because, I put myself in that situation of where I'm saying that I'm going to take on these movies as a film director, and with that comes a lot of half and half negative and a lot of positive vibes, So it's a challenge, but at the end of the day, it always makes me feel better because I know no matter how crazy things get, at the whole film festival, the red carpet, and all that Hollywood stuff, it's always good because I can come home and be with my siblings and ride horses, feed the horses, feed our res dogs. We're literally coming from, we live in the mud, we're dealing with the snow, chopping woods and stuff. So at the end of the day, I think that's what helps me overcome it. It's just knowing that my sister's there for me and my brother, they're there for me, and with our pets. So
That's awesome. So, is there anything else you would like to share?
Yeah, we got a new movie. We're not the ones that filmed it, but there's this new movie coming out. It's called My Little One, and it was filmed by this French director. He came out to the Window Rock and Arizona area, and he just emailed me this morning telling me the good news that that the movie they did is gonna actually be in theaters. So I play in the film quite a bit, and it was such an honor to be a part of that group and part of that production. It premiered in France, I think, in early February of this year, and it's this drama film that's kind of mysterious, and it takes place, and it's about this girl that actually goes missing that works at one of the casinos on the reservation, something like that, and they're trying to find her, and I actually play as this bad guy on the movie, and I play as this drug dealer. It's so funny, and it actually, when I saw the trailer, I was so shocked. I was like, this movie looks so good. They did an excellent job, and I'm super excited to be a part of it, and I hope everybody enjoys it when they see it in the theaters.
What's the movie called?
My Little One.
My Little One. Okay, so I didn't see if you get a chance. Is it on YouTube?
Yeah. The trailer's up on there. I can send you a link, and we'll put one on our page too.
Okay, perfect. Send me the link, and I can add it to the show notes at the bottom. But if you get a chance, audience, take a look at Kody's the movie that Kody Dayish is going to be in. You want to do a plug?
Hey guys, so there's this new movie coming out called My Little One. It's directed by a French director named Frédéric Truffat, and it's going to be extremely cool. I had a really good time spending several days on set with them. The movie was all filmed in the Holbrook area of Arizona, and I hope you guys see it when it comes out in theaters, which is sometime maybe in the summer this year. I'm super excited about it. I'm in the film, so go check it out. And we'll have a trailer on our Facebook page, Kody Dayish Productions, and we'll post it today on the 27th.
That's awesome. And can people contact you, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
Yeah, we're doing Facebook and Instagram right now, and you can go to our site at kodydayish.com to buy shirts or, buy our music. Or we also have a DVD available now, too. Our award-winning film, Spared, is now on DVD, so you can purchase that and watch that at home. Yeah, so most of our work goes through our Facebook page, though, and YouTube, too. A lot of stuff we network through YouTube, so if you guys have any questions about filmmaking or if they want to talk to other filmmakers, we definitely have contact info through YouTube.
That's awesome. Just so everyone knows, this is the second interview I've done with Kody. I think Kody was my 8th or 9th interview all time. So this is the second time he's been on the show. Kody, I appreciate you being on the show again, and I know you've made a lot of headway since we last interviewed, and you're blowing up, and you continue to blow up. So hopefully one of these days we'll definitely, I hope to see you on the, walking the red Emmys or any of those big award shows.
Man, that'd be really cool, man. And yeah, we're big fans of your shows, dude. I always watch all your stuff. It's good, man. Hearing from people like Lauren Anthony and these council delegates you have on your page. I'm always tuning in, dude. I love the questions. I love the content. it's worth every minute listening to all of your stuff, because everybody gets to actually hear some things about these Navajo people that we haven't heard about before, you know? So I'm a huge fan of your whole page, and I love it, man.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I do follow you too as well. So we're all set. Thanks for taking time for a second interview. And let me know if you need me to send out any promo videos or anything. I do share anything out to my audience as well.
All right.
Okay. All right. We're all set, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right. Later.
Hello, listeners. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode with my guest today. Follow me on Instagram, Navajo Podcaster, also on Facebook, 21st Century Native Leader, or Navajo Podcaster. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. Agone.